Hello, dear viewers. I am a global nationalist and I support nationalism in my country, India, and in other countries around the world. Today, I am going to be talking about the cases in India that relate to temple and mosque disputes. Let's begin. India has had a history of many invasions. These started with the Mughal invasions, and where the Muslim invaders came to India and destroyed many buildings and including temples, and they many people believe that many mosques in India have been built on top of these temples, and many Hindus want these mosques to be removed and temples to be rebuilt. This is an issue that has been plaguing India since independence. And I'm going to talk about three cases and how the courts have handled them. So, this is a comparison analysis of temple and mosque disputes. The three cases I'll be talking about are the Ayodhya case, the Gyanvapi Mosque case, and the Qutub Minar case. Please forgive my voice not being clear because I have a cold and a cough. The Ram Mandir or Babri Masjid case, also called the Ayodhya case. It was about a temple that Hindus believed was the birthplace of Lord Ram and where a mosque had been built either by the Muslim Emperor Babur or by Aurangzeb but dedicated to Babur called Babri Masjid. The suits. A Ram Bhakt sued for the right to worship the idols of Lord Ram in 1950. Nirmohi Akara claimed to be the Shibate of Lord Ram at the temple, which means the maintainer, the organization who is responsible for maintaining the idol at the temple. And they filed a suit to claim possession of the site in 1959. The UP Central Waqf Board filed a suit for possession of the site in 1961. A next friend of the deity Lord Ram, the birthplace of Lord Ram, sued for declaration of the land as belonging to Lord Ram. On the 6th of December 1992, the Babi Masjid was destroyed illegally by Hindus, like extreme radical Hindus, not ordinary Hindus. On 30th of December 2010, the Allahabad High Court held that the site should be divided into three parts, one for the deity of Ram, one for the Nirmohi Akara, and one for the Sunni Waqf Board. On 9th of May 2011, the Supreme Court stayed High Court's verdict. On the 9th of November 2019, the Supreme Court held that there was a Ram temple and that it was destroyed by Babur. It awarded the land to the Hindus and allotted 5 acres of land to Muslims to rebuild the mosque somewhere else. Now, uh, first off, I'll talk about the Allahabad judgment. Why they divided in so because first for the deity of Ram, because in India, Hindu idols are and deities are considered judicial persons. That means legal persons. That means they have certain rights according to the law. This is because property is often donated to temples, and so it's the courts have kind of held that the property donated to temples, the endowments given, are come under the possession of the deity itself. This way, no organization can claim the property and misuse it. And they also gave one for Nirmohi Akara because it was the organization responsible for the temple, and one for the Sunni Waqf Board. This is because there it was a mosque, and they felt that there should be some uh, land given to the Muslims. But the Supreme Court stayed the High Court's verdict because many of the parties, both Muslim and Hindu parties, appealed it. And on the 9th of November 2019, the Supreme Court held that there was a Ram temple and it was destroyed by Babur. This was found after the Archaeological Survey of India, which is a government organization which is responsible for managing all the archaeological sites in India, conducting research, etc. The ASI found that it was a temple, the Babi Masjid, and that it was destroyed by Babur. The Supreme Court awarded the land to the Hindus and allotted 5 acres of land to Muslims because they felt that Muslims were wrongfully dispossessed of the Babi Masjid, which was mosque for them, so that they can build the Babi Masjid somewhere else. The Gyan Vapi Mosque case. In 1936, Muslims approached the lower court for the whole complex to be declared a mosque. First, I'll talk about the Gyanvapi Mosque. It's a mosque located in Varanasi, and uh, some parts of the mosque do have not been. It's basically a complex, with one part is mosque and the others are different Muslim buildings or allegedly Muslim buildings. And the Muslims in 1936 wanted the whole complex to be declared a mosque so that they could offer namaz, and the court in 1937 gave the Muslims, I don't know which court this was. In 1991, a petitioner named Pandit Somnath Vyas and others filed a suit in the Varanasi court demanding the mosque land for the construction of a temple that was allegedly destroyed by Aurangzeb to build a mosque over it. Last year, in 2021, a local court in Varanasi directed the Archaeological Survey of India to conduct a survey of the Vapi Mosque. This was to find out whether or not it was a temple that was destroyed. And in April 2022, 5 women petitioners approached the Varanasi court to allow them to worship at the site because they claimed it was a Hindu site. In May 2022, the survey began on the 16th of May. And the survey concluded, and an advocate from the Hindu side claimed that there is a shivling in the mosque, which is an idol of Shiva, the god Shiva. And so the survey found that there was a shivling, and so Hindus claim that they have a right to worship in the mosque. In the Qutub Minar case, before we get the Qutub Minar case, I'll just say the Gyan Vapi Mosque case is ongoing and hasn't finished. The Delhi High Court in 2022 heard a case filed on behalf of a Jain deity Tirthankar Lord Rishabh which claimed that the Quwat ul Islam Mosque inside the complex was built after the demolition of 27 temples. Now, the Qutub Minar is a monument built by a Muslim king, Qutbuddin Aibak. Um, it was now it is one apparently this is something I learned that this entire complex it's not just one monument, and apparently this person claims that the mosque inside the complex was built after demolishing temples and Jain temples. So not just Hindus but even Jains are seeking their rights to worship in destroyed temples. So the police sought permission to destroy the mosque and rebuild the temples and worship there. The ASI has opposed the plaintiffs, saying that no worship can be done at the site as it was under government protection. The ASI said that because of Qutub Minar and the entire um, area is actually a uh, historical monument which comes under government protection, and worship cannot be done in government owned land. That's what they were saying, especially historical monuments. The similarities in all the cases are that the cases involve a mosque that was allegedly built over a demolished temple. In the Ayodhya case, it was not allegedly, it was proven. They are being heard in court, so this has not been settled outside courts through violence or through legislation, but is still being heard in courts, which is good. In all the cases, Hindus seek the right to rebuild the temple and worship there. The ASI has been an authority in all the cases. The ASI has been the one that has done the research for the courts in all these cases. Differences. The Places of Worship Act allowed for the case of the Ram Temple to continue, but does not allow any other suit for conversion of any other mosque into a temple. The Qutub Minar case began in the 21st century, while the Ayodhya case and Ganvapi case began in the 20th century. The ASI supported the Hindus in the Ram Mandir and Gyanvapi Mosque case, but not in the Qutub Minar case. So right now, the most important thing to understand is the Places of Worship Act, which says that uh, whatever religious places there are in India, they should remain the same as they are when independence happened, and that they should not be changed. So this has proved a hurdle to Hindu groups who want to remove mosques and rebuild temples that were destroyed. And so some people, some Hindu groups want the act to be repealed. Now, I think that this uh, actually makes sense. I think that there should the this act doesn't serve a purpose. It just prevents people from Hindus from getting back their temples. They have a right to worship in the temples that were there. It was wrong what happened, the destruction of temples, and it should be that historical wrong should be addressed in the modern age. Now, uh, so yeah, I don't think it's fair for Hindus to not be allowed to worship in these temples. And yeah, I think the act should be repealed. But there should be an act to laws to prevent attacks on religious buildings and institutions, and these there already are such laws. They just need to be enforced. So yeah, that's what I think. I'm support the Hindus in these cases and hope that they're successful. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to see my other videos about nationalism in India with current events, click here. If you want to see my previous video, click here. If you want to see the sources I use for this video, click the links in the description below. Thank you for watching. Vande Mataram.